So when we look at money in, whether we're looking at a single location, a multi-location, or a unit of one single producer, we find it very helpful to really look at it from a standpoint like of a dashboard, like a dashboard on your car. So when we're driving our car, we have this dashboard in front of us, but we're not staring at all the indicators in the dashboard. We can't. But there's two indicators we never lose touch with. We never lose touch of gas and speed. When we look at money in, one of the healthiest ways that I like to look at it is to look at client count and average ticket as your gas and speed, those two primary indicators. But then when it relates to money in, we also look at what we refer to as the drivers. And we see three drivers to client count, and that's referrals, which is new business, retention, which is keeping the business you already have, and then there's rebooking or pre-booking, whatever you want to call them, that has to do with the frequency of visit. As it relates to average ticket, we see three different drivers as it relates to that: product sales, add-ons, and having the right pricing strategy. So I think when it comes to money in, it's so easy to get overwhelmed by all the data that comes out of the software, which is so important. But the biggest fan of a spreadsheet is the creator of that particular spreadsheet. And so if we can really simplify it, boil it down into very actionable tips based upon client count and average ticket, and then the drivers are mentioned, I think it's a winning formula for someone that really wants to have a short and a long-term strategy for constant growth.
Well, there's really only 5 ways to make more money, right? So it's increasing your prices, it's increasing your number of clients that are coming in, it's decreasing your fixed costs, it's being able to save more money on your taxes, right? Because if less money you pay out in taxes, the more money you get to pay in your pocket. And then, of course, increasing the number of possibilities that you have, whether it's production staff or whatever, to be able to bring more money in. I think a lot of times we focus on the money in more than we do the money out. And I think that it is a two-way street. You can do all the work in the world to make sure that you're bringing in funds, but if you're not managing the other side of it, then you're not going to come up positive.
So some of the trends that we're seeing with pricing is that during the pandemic, and regardless of when you're watching this educational series, we're all affected by the pandemic. And certainly during the pandemic, there was a major opportunity to increase your prices. And that client visits were slowing down, but average ticket was actually going up, suggesting that clients were much more willing to pay for a higher price for a service that they needed and wanted.
One of the trends that I'm seeing in pricing, I guess, right now is that clients are more acceptable to price increases. Obviously, business owners want to be profitable, and it's important to be able to do those price increases and cover your costs. The other thing that I'm seeing as a trend in the industry is the ability to charge for products that are being used on your client's hair. And I would encourage owners to do that and be able to get what you're worth. I think, if you look at an average ticket of $100 and you're paying 40% commission, let's just say, so there goes $40, it's gone. And then on top of that, you pay FICA taxes, so there's another $7.65, or I'm just rounding that, let's say $7. So there's $47 gone. And then you have the back bar that you're using on that. So let's say for a $100 color, that's $7. You can see this dwindling very quickly. So if it's possible for you to charge what you're worth and be able to get paid for those products, I think that's a great thing to do. And what I'm seeing in the industry right now is that more and more salon owners are implementing those types of pricing structures.
There's a reluctance by many professionals to raise their price. And the thing that just is strange is that in many cases, it's with the masters. It's with the people at the top of their craft. And, I asked the question many times in classes, how many of you struggle with self-confidence? And ironically, in many cases, it's the masters that shoot their hand up. And they'll reach a certain point in their career where they become afraid to raise their prices for some reason. They're going to lose their clients, or they're not worth it, or whatever. So I guess when it relates to pricing is to just encourage members of your team, or if you're watching this and you're an individual, is to make sure you charge for what you're worth, because you're worth a lot.